Picked this bike up in September of last year. It is a 2018 Kawasaki Concours. It is just an amazingly pleasurable bike to ride. I had no idea that Kawasaki made a sport touring bike with the heart and attitude of the most powerful motorcycle that they've ever produced. They took the heart and soul of a ZX14, one of the most powerful motorcycles in the world, and basically toned it down so that the average Joe could enjoy it without going absolutely crazy and killing themselves. I had no idea about this bike. I had been looking for a replacement to my Heritage because it had been giving me a lot of problems, and I came across this bike. It had been barely used. It only had 1,700 miles on it, and I took it for a test ride, and I felt like the Goldwing all over again. Absolutely in love. This is like the Goldwing's younger, stronger cousin, who the Goldwing's always trying to imitate. This bike is like a rocket ship. There's so much attention to detail on this motorcycle, I can't even begin to tell you. Kawasaki engineers are insane. I don't know if you can see that. There's so much attention to detail. There are drain holes pre-drilled underneath each screw in the fairing. Something that other manufacturers have never even thought of, because who wants water sitting on the screw heads if this bike was ever sit out in the inclement weather? So much attention to detail. It's unfathomable. I've put about 3,000 or 4,000 miles on this bike since I've got it so far. White lining every single day coming home from work. And it has been an absolute pleasure to ride. I love that it has a center stand. One of my absolute favorite things on some motorcycles and some that don't have it. Love the fact that I can sit here and check out the entire rear wheel all the way around, inspecting it, making sure I don't have any foreign objects stuck in it. I love the fact that my legs are tucked away behind the fairing and I don't get water on me. I love the fact that it has creature comforts such as heated grips and an adjustable windshield. It is just a monster. This motorcycle at 80 miles an hour feels like you're going 40. And at 120 miles an hour feels like you're going 80. It's very, very, very deceptive. In a good way and in a bad way. Just gotta watch yourself on this bike. She's a real lady in front of the police because she's quiet. She looks like an old man's bike. But when you wanna rip and you open that throttle, that 160 horsepower reminds you of what you're actually riding very, very quickly. So don't kid yourself. You do need to be of a pretty good stature to ride this bike comfortably. When I was in the dealership looking this bike over, the dealership informed me that the previous owner was actually too short for the bike. And because of that, he traded it in after only 1,700 miles of riding it. I'm over 6 feet tall, so I can actually flat foot this bike at a stop with my knees slightly bent without an issue, which leaves me into plenty control of this bike. It's a heavy bike, don't get me wrong. It's over 600 pounds. But when she's moving, she's as nimble as a minx. She's like any sport bike or any Ninja. If you've ever ridden a Ninja, you'll be right at home. Absolutely amazing motorcycle. I'm so sad to hear that Kawasaki could not keep the Concours in its lineup due to the Euro 6 emission standards that they have to comply with, because this motorcycle is an absolute gem. Whoever owns these bikes is going to continue to enjoy them. They will probably slightly appreciate in value. I don't see these bikes becoming any sort of collector's item, but honestly, you never know. I'm gonna ride it as long as I can, see where it takes me. I'll be having a test ride video in a short while, but that's exactly how I feel about the 2018 Kawasaki Concours. Ride safe.